A Texoma man indicted for capital murder today, what he allegedly did to his wife that caused her to miscarry their baby.
And a Denison woman accused of making up a kidnapping and rape, facing 4 felony charges. How long she could spend in prison.
And crews working to dismantle the marina dock destroyed by fire last week. What a worker was doing when the flames were sparked. News 12 at 5 starts now.
Texoma's #1 rated newscast, broadcasting live from 12 studios. This is News 12 at 5 p.m.
Welcome to News 12 at 5. I'm Maureen Kane.
And I'm Dan Thomas. A Sherman man was indicted for capital murder today after police say he beat up his pregnant wife, causing the death of her unborn baby. Court documents say 28-year-old Sergio Jimenez attacked her last month, and a week later, she suffered a miscarriage. In a report, the wife says that Jimenez pushed her onto the bed, put a blanket over her face, and then jumped up and down on her stomach with the majority of his body weight. The wife says that Jimenez mentioned multiple times during that assault that he did not believe he was the father of her baby. Police say hospital staff told the woman on the night of the assault that her 5-week-old embryo looked fine. A week later, she miscarried. Jimenez faces the death penalty or life without parole.
Charges have been filed in a 3-decade-old Ida Bell murder. 65-year-old Ernest Alvin Lewis is now charged with first-degree murder in the shooting death of Johnny Smith. Oklahoma Attorney General Mike Hunter says Lewis shot Smith during their shift at the KCS Lumber Company on June 28, 1984. And while Lewis was originally tried for the murder in 1985, the case was dismissed because of lack of evidence. Now, Hunter's office says DNA testing has linked blood found on Lewis's boot to Smith. Lewis is currently serving time in a Colorado prison. The Denison woman accused of lying about being kidnapped and raped by 3 men last March was indicted today on several felonies. 19-year-old Brianna Harmon is facing 2 counts of tampering with physical evidence and 2 counts of tampering with a government record. If she's found guilty on all 4 counts, she could face up to 32 years in prison. Harmon was originally charged with false report to a police officer, which is a misdemeanor. But District Attorney Joe Brown says looking at the time and money spent on this case, it warranted felony charges.
Well, a Sherman man was taken into custody after police say that he fired a shot at his neighbor's feet. Happened at the El Dorado mobile home community. Police were first called there around 7 this morning for a fight between Jerry Morris and his neighbor. The neighbor told police that Morris was taking pictures of his mobile home, and when officers arrived, the situation then took an unexpected turn.
The victim in this case is saying that he was trying to help the gentleman home, to get back to his trailer because he was appeared to be intoxicated. And so the suspect actually ran back into his trailer, came back out with a firearm and pointed it at the victim.
Well, officials say that Morris fired the gun at his neighbor's feet, but missed him. Morris was arrested for aggravated assault with a dangerous weapon. And a Sherman woman says that she paid for a puppy online, never got it.
Police say she's the victim of a new internet scam that's going around. News 12's Sarah Humphrey has that story.
Melissa Tevya wanted to buy her fiancé a Siberian Husky as a wedding present.
And then I just looked up online because sometimes you could actually buy them from legitimate breeders through legitimate websites.
Tevya found a puppy online and went to buy it.
Once you pick your dog, you just say contact me, and then you just send them a little email and they'll get back to you.
She says the seller asked her to send $400 through MoneyGram, so she did. A few days later, they asked her to send $500 more to have the puppy delivered from Tennessee. She didn't have the cash, so she offered to pick it up.
I already paid for her, so I would, it's worth the trip. But they wouldn't give me the address of the place that they were at.
Tevya filed a police report with SPD after the seller stopped communicating with her. We tried to contact them for her and haven't gotten a response.
It was horrible when it didn't come.
The website is riddled with broken English and grammatical errors. They don't say where they're located, just that, quote, "We are breeders in USA."
You're using animals to scam people's money. I just wanted a dog.
Tevya hasn't given up on buying her fiancé a pup just yet. She says next time she'll use a local breeder.
And I'll actually drive there this time and not buy one off the internet.
In Sherman, Sarah Humphrey, News 12.
The dismantling of U-Dock is underway at Highport Marina after a massive fire destroyed the dock and 17 boats. And the marina says they have the report of what happened. They say a person working on a boat was trying to remove water from a gas tank when a clamp from the electric pump he was working on fell on some metal and sparked. Crews were out at the dock today, beginning the process of taking it apart and recovering more sunken boats. So far, they've removed 2 of the 17. The DiveCom Marine Dive crew is now heading the boat recovery process. Workers we spoke with say it will be easier to recover those boats with the dock dismantled. Mechanics we talked to say this could have happened to anyone.
You know, I don't know if you've ever been in a situation, but it's all your cognitive is gone. Your rational thought is out there, so you're just panicking. You don't know what you'll do.
The marina tells us that the person who started the fire was not a High Port employee. It's still unclear if that man will face charges.
Well, an elderly woman accidentally rammed her car into a massage parlor in Ardmore earlier today. Diane Johnson works for Tigert Pharmacy next door to the parlor in Tiffany Plaza, saw the accident happen right outside the store window. She tells us that the woman was on her way to pick up a prescription when she tried to park in a handicapped spot, accidentally hit the gas, causing the car to run right through the front of the Singapore Massage.
Oh, she was just scared. She just wanted to make sure she didn't hurt anybody. She said, I didn't hurt any. She said, did I run over anybody or hurt anybody? And we told her no, it was fine.
Well, there was one person inside that massage parlor at the time of the crash. We're told that there were no injuries. There is no estimate of the damage cost at this time.
The Oklahoma Highway Patrol is asking for the public's help investigating a semi-crash that left a man seriously hurt yesterday in Carter County. Happened around 4:15 on Highway 53, about 4 miles west of Interstate 35, near Springer. An accident report stated that unknown debris came through the windshield, hitting the semi-driver, 52-year-old Eddie Reese of Waurika. Reese was flown to a hospital in critical condition with a deep cut on his head. OHP says the debris was either on the roadway or came from another vehicle. If you have any information, call OHP. Let's take a look at our weather now, and it's another day in that dangerous heat zone. Sure is hot out there. Chief Meteorologist Steve Lenore here with an update. Steve?
Of course, it's not just the heat, it's the high dew point, the moisture making it feel very oppressive outside today. Your current temperatures are all well under 100 degrees, you can see here, ranging from 91 to 97. And one of the reasons for this big range is we've got some scattered cloud cover here and there across Texoma. But here's how hot it feels with the heat index up there again between about 100 and 107, and it's going to be even worse tomorrow. Winds have been blowing along, providing a little bit of cooling, about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow, a heat index for the entire area, a heat advisory, I should say, 4 heat indexes of 105 to 110 degrees, but there is relief on the way. I'll talk about that when I return.
President Trump announced his administration is barring transgender people from serving in the military.
Transgender service members have been able to openly serve since last year. Mullalenghi is at the Pentagon with reaction.
Lieutenant Commander Blake Dreeman's 11-year career in the Navy is in jeopardy.
We are service members first and transgender people second.
Dreeman, who's been deployed 11 times, has been serving as a man for the past 3 years. But this morning, President Trump announced in a series of tweets that the government will not accept or allow transgender individuals to serve in any capacity in the U.S. military. The president gave as his reason the tremendous medical costs and disruption that transgender in the military would entail.
This was about military readiness. This was about unit cohesion. This was about resources within the military.
Dreeman called the decision surprising and disappointing.
Transgender people are already serving in various aspects of the military honorably, and they've shown no impact to readiness.
The Defense Department lifted the ban last year under the Obama administration.
Plans to allow transgender people to enlist were supposed to go into effect in July, but Defense Secretary James Mattis recently gave his military chiefs a 6-month delay.
The Pentagon won't release numbers, but a RAND study found there are between 2,500 and 7,000 transgender service members in the active duty military and up to 4,000 in the reserves.
The president's allegations of tremendous medical cost are a bold-faced lie.
The Pentagon says it's working with the White House and will provide revised guidance in the near future. Mullalenghi for CBS News, the Pentagon.
To me, it's a miracle.
A couple reunited today with the firefighters who delivered their baby girl roadside, what they had just finished doing before that couple flagged them down for help.
Can't wait to see that one. Plus, he may have been unlucky with the Cowboys, but a former Dallas receiver has now found a new home.